The act of card flourishing is an art that goes back to the first time someone ever picked up a deck of playing cards. Throughout the years, this has evolved and has had many iterations, including what is commonly referred to today as cardistry. Just as recently as 18 years ago, however, the act of card flourishing had a different name: Xtreme card manipulation. This craft was predicated by cutting, spreading, fanning, and manipulating cards well beyond their intended use, sometimes underwater, or even on fire. From this art grew the subject of today's video, a series of challenges described on its website as pushing their internal limits to the end. This is the story of the Ulmen Trials. Now, the Ulmen Trials were a little bit hard to research because most of the websites have changed domains. Now, luckily, because of the Wayback Machine, it's easier than ever to access this lost site and read about its rules and history. Now, according to the website, the Ulmen Trials is the toughest test of extreme card manipulation ever conceived. It consists of 13 steps, each step requiring the challenger to complete a difficult move, series of moves, or to create an original move to meet strict requirements. This isn't just some cheesy magic act. You need a cool head to survive, as 4 cloaked men stand around while you complete your challenges. Now, here's very quickly where the history of the trials becomes a little bit suspicious and the line blurs between fiction and reality. The website claims that the Ulmen Trials has been a myth and legend for many years in some small villages of the Eifel region of Germany. A tale of 4 friends that would challenge each other secretly in the ruins of the castle to test their limitations and fears has risen again by the youth of a small town in Germany. Their challenges and tests of each other's strength and abilities has been written about and told in many stories. Many of their stunts were incredibly dangerous, involving fire, physical impossibilities, and the like. One of the members, Marius Sr., was an avid card player and soon adapted some of his challenges with the use of playing cards. He soon got his friends to participate in his card challenges. These 4 friends soon became unbelievably skilled, and the stories of their skills have been passed down from person to person. The original challenges that were carried out by the original Ulmen 4 were entirely too dangerous to make public. The Ulmen 4 representatives, however, continued these challenges and invited others to partake secretly in memory of their fathers and grandfathers. With very little participation, they turned into some of the Ulmen 4's biggest fans, and one of the best manipulators would attempt to participate in the original trials to help. They invited Devo vom Stratenreich to assist in keeping their father's dream alive. Now, the trials are grueling and definitely not for the faint of heart. Virgin cardisters out there will not even be able to execute one of these, for they require the strength and will of mind of 1,000 Thors. Let's go through some of the ones listed on the website. First challenge: 2-handed shuffles blindfolded. Second challenge: self-standing sculpture. Third challenge: double cross cobra cuts. Fourth challenge: foot shuffle. Fifth challenge: double arm spreads. Sixth challenge: 30 packet array. Those are the only challenges they release on the website, as the other 7 are revealed once you complete and show your extreme card mastery. Now, what really made me feel queasy were the parts of the requirements involving the individual taking the challenges to be alone with the Ulmen 4 in the old castle ruins where the original trials were held. The trials is about the individual and their personal power. The Ulmen 4 wear black cloaks in memory of their fathers and grandfathers and stand in front of you, watching carefully that you fulfill the requirements. There's no slack by the Ulmen 4. Now, luckily, the website has a first-hand account as to what actually happened in the deadly games at stake and a play-by-play as to what the trials generally look like. I have to imagine it's a stringent set and death-defying test of your will and character. Now, let's take a look at the first-hand account of the Ulmen Trials. We arrived on the weekend and was greeted by many of the Ulmen fans and family. Obviously, English is not their first language. We went to dinner right away to the pizzeria, a favorite of the Ulmen, and then we gave out gifts from America, next to the Tower Pub, and drank beer, of course. What? You had pizza? And beer? This is supposed to test your will, your character. This is supposed to challenge your internal limits to the end. You aren't going to test your strength of character by having pizza And beer? This isn't a picnic. That night we met up with the other challengers, and the Ulmen 4 went over the trials rules and verified people and their challenge dates and times. Newcomers had their own room, in which Devo, Joseph, Marius, and Domi, and others spent plenty of time discussing every detail and answered all their questions. Once everyone was content with the trials and what was expected and what we had to do, we went to the Tower Pub once again for a jam session. This is also where we bought lots of beer. What? Listen here. I'm picturing dungeons, I'm picturing dragons, I'm picturing being kidnapped by a series of cloaked men upon arrival to the location. These dudes are going to a pub and playing with cards. The fuck is that? A little later at dusk, the Ulmen 4 came down from the walls to begin. They light their torches in a small ceremony dedicated to their fathers and are ready for the beginning of the trials. The first competitors wait in the marketplace below the castle. A representative lets them know when they could start the steep walk to the castle. Once at the top, the Ulmen representatives stand outside the walls and ensure that no one, except the competitor, enters the castle. All family members and friends must wait outside the castle walls. Once the representative gives the go-ahead, the competitor enters the castle and walks to the Ulmen 4, entering their torches and await the command to begin. Devo got his chance to take the 9th step around midnight of Tuesday evening. He recompleted the first 4 steps. The Ulmen 4 made him redo them because of the step change last year, but he smoked through them without thinking. The 9th step was really the only thing on the dark side of his mind. We were all allowed to walk with Devo to the volcanic lake in the Ulmen in his attempt to take on the elemental step. We all met at the castle. Most everyone came to walk with Devo, all their competitors, family members, friends, even Ulmen fans came out. We began the grueling hike to the woods, fight off all the nasty bugs, and trying to keep warm. It was extremely cold outside, and all of us felt nervous for Devo, who had to be submerged into the freezing lake up to his chest and neck. Devo then went into the water and dropped down to his knees, the water up to his neck. Even though he tried very hard to keep calm, we could tell that the freezing lake had taken its toll on him. Nevertheless, Devo completed all the requirements for the water elementals, and we were all very happy for that. When we walked back with Devo, he did not come with us with the Tower Pub. He took a shower and spent the night trying to keep warm and tried not to get sick. All right, this is the only part that I would say is a little bit of the Project Badass. You got to mix cards underwater and shit. I'll give you that. Sometimes I take cold waters because I read somewhere that was good for you. And honestly, sometimes when I do that, I feel like wrapping my lips around the nearest muffler. Now, they go on to mention the next couple days in completing the 7th through 9th step, but let's take a look at the schedule of events here. Wednesday night, Marius, Joseph, Pia took the trials. However, they all did extremely well and were nearing the 7th to 9th step. These guys are all incredible. We went to the Tower Pub again and jammed. Thursday came and we took a trip to Fantasialand, which is a large amusement park. We all needed to have some fun and let off steam. Most of the competitors would leave this night to go back to their families. Friday was a relaxing day to rest from the long week, and we drank all night, danced and partied. Danced and partied. Dance and parties. What happened to the test of internal fortitude? You know what? I'm starting my own Ulmen Trials, and it's very simple. It just consists of 3 steps, 3 trials. Nothing challenging, won't be on the scope of anyone that chooses to attempt, to dare to try the South Florida trials. First trial, you must go to the nearest hood and walk a minimum of 2 miles wearing ear pods. When you inevitably get asked, hey, what's good? You must use a magic trick or a flourish to get out of catching the fades. Second trial, you must drink an entire can of Bud Light at room temperature. Third trial, during the first trial, you must point at the biggest and blackest person in the crowd and ask him if he wants to buck some nuts, cuh. If you survive, I'll take you to Taco Bell or something. So those are the Ulmen Trials. There's a lot more drama when it comes to the aftermath of the whole thing, with Devo apparently having posted some stuff on Instagram. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to find that in my research. However, really, it's a group of friends looking for an excuse to pay tribute to their ancestors and have a couple pints. There's nothing wrong with that. I think that's good for everyone. You should subscribe and stuff. I post good stuff sometimes.
See you again when I see you again, when I see you again. see you again, when I see you again, when I see you again, when I see you again.